Hey everybody, it is Friday afternoon. Well, it's actually just afternoon. It's about lunchtime today, and so I've got all afternoon. It's a beautiful day. For once, it's not a windy day out here, and so I'm going to take advantage of that, and we're going to head all the way up to the headwaters. And I'm actually going to portage my kayak today. We're going to get out right where those little rapids start. We're going to carry the kayak over those rapids, and then I can get back in and continue paddling north upstream. There will be two other places where I have to briefly drag the kayak, but that's not a big deal, because after that we are going to paddle all the way up into Hemlock Gorge, and Hemlock Gorge is absolutely beautiful. Now, we won't be able to go very far into Hemlock Gorge, as pretty much as soon as we enter it we're going to be faced with a fairly steep waterfall, several feet of flowing water. So that's going to be the end of the line, ultimate end of the line for us. There will be no portaging beyond that point, but that is where we were heading. So let's see if we don't get a little bit of scenic paddling in along the way, but otherwise I will see you all up at the top end of the reservoir. All right, everybody, we are way up at the top end, but not quite there yet. I just wanted to start recording a little early because of all of the money plant. And I'm not sure what those white flowers are over there. They look like phlox. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we got phlox blooming over there, and all of the raspberries that grow wild around here everywhere, they're all in bloom. So we've got white flowers, the white phlox, and we have all those purple money plants in bloom over there. So that was a nice little floral look. The mountain laurel is in bloom too. That's not quite as vibrant, but if you look around you can see a lot of mountain laurel blooming. Over here we have our ongoing construction project. This is a beaver dam that they've been working on for, not a beaver dam, a beaver lodge that they have been working on for quite a few years now, and it's getting pretty big. So you know, when you see the beaver lodge, you're almost to the end. We just have to go right up here around the corner and we will be at the end of the line, where I'm going to be forced to get out and drag my kayak over some rapids. And then, as I said, once we get over those, we'll be able to continue heading upstream. At that point we'll just be straight up in a river, and we're going to paddle up into Hemlock Gorge. You get a little better look at the laurel over here. You can see these flowering plants in the sun. There's another big patch of them over here. That's the laurel. All right, now if I was going to carry my kayak, I'd probably get out right here and walk up the path or the trail there. But I think we're just going to get out and drag it straight over the rocks. The water looks pretty shallow, so there's going to be at least two other places between here and the gorge where we're definitely going to have to get out and drag the kayak over it. All right, so this is where we're going to get out. We're going to go right up there, continue on. All right, everybody, we are now on the upstream side of all of the rocks. I did set the tripod up. Here's some of those money plants I was talking about. And then of course all these white flowers you can see behind me are the raspberries. They smell really good, the flowers. So we are all the way up there now. I set the camera up so we could watch me drag the kayak up there. Fortunately, I did not fall down or injure myself in any way. But when I came back to get the camera, it had fallen down. So I have no idea whether we got that footage or not. But you can now see we're upstream. And this is actually a ford. There is a trail that comes down. This is an official maintained trail, and if you're on horseback, it's not a big deal. You just ford right across here, and if you will notice, as the trail comes up, you can see all the hoof prints. These hoof prints are actually coming this way. Those are going that way. I don't know if somebody came down and went back, but it's not uncommon for people to come down here on horseback, and then again the trail continues on off through the woods. I've never been 100% sure whether that is the foundation of a building or it's just a natural structure. It really looks like the foundation of a building, but I'm pretty sure it's a natural structure. Never quite been able to figure that one out. Looks too much like stacked rock to be natural, but there's also way too much of it that is really big, full-size rock that can't possibly have been laid by a person, so who knows. Anyway, I'm going to take a few minutes of a break, and then we are going to head on back upstream. I love the way this tree grows out of the rocks up there. Alright, we are gonna have to get out and walk very shortly. Unless I can find a channel through here. We'll go as far as we can, but we'll see. Oh, there's fish. Well, I might be able to make it up through here if I stay on this side. Yeah, it's the first time I've ever made it through here, although we're not through yet, so let's not get too ahead of ourselves. There we go, I'm scraping now. I really need to be all the way over there, but I don't think we're going to be able to do it. We'll see. Okay. All right, I think we got this. All right, we did it. There's a spot up here where the water gets pretty fast, and there's some rocks, and we're probably going to have to get out there as well. It's hard to put any power into your strokes when you can't even put your paddle fully into the water without hitting the bottom. Now this spot, I've always been able to come back down through it, but I've never been able to go upstream in it. And today it doesn't even look like we're going to be able to go downstream in it. It's really shallow. So we're not even going to bother to try. We'll just pull up right here, get out and have a little walk. Oh, no you don't. All right. That should be deep enough. All right, now let's see if we can get all the way to the gorge. The river is really low today. We haven't had rain in a while. And you can see we're down several inches. I don't know if I'm going to make it through here either. There we go. There's a bunch more money plants. And this is it. We are in Hemlock Gorge. There's some people on the trail up there. There's a whole family up there. We'll probably wind up seeing a little bit of them at some point. But I'm going to stop here, let you have a little bit of a look up and around. So when you see stuff like this, you can understand why there's areas in the reservoir that it seems like you step off the shoreline and the water goes straight down, because in a lot of places in the reservoir it does do that. This of course is far above the dam, so where the water line would be, the full water line is about a mile downstream from us. We already paddled way out of that. And so this stuff would never be underwater, but there's a lot of places in the reservoir that if you drained it would probably look very similar to this. And that's why you have such steep, deep drop-offs. All right, so this is about the end of the line. You can see the gorge goes on up and around. It's not very long. I think the whole gorge is probably about a quarter mile or less from where we just came in to around the bend. You're officially sort of leaving it. And I'm not sure if something changed through here or whatever, but I've never used to be able to paddle even close to doing this, I could probably get up there, although I'm a little reluctant to. I don't know if I want to try that or not. It looks like there's a big rock right at the top of it, and I do not want to get stuck on that right as I'm at the top of that fast flowing water. That's just asking to get rolled over and have my head knocked onto a rock. So we will avoid knocking our heads on any rocks today. All right, everybody, there you go. There's your look at Hemlock Gorge. So let me get out of this current a little bit and I'll say goodbye. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed your little trip up the river with me. Again, this is the Gunpowder River, and this is what becomes both Pretty Boy Reservoir and Loch Raven Reservoir. This is the river that gets dammed up, and while there are many other tributaries and little streams and feeders and springs that flow into them, this river is the actual river that is impounded to create the reservoirs. And so we are all the way up in the headwaters. Technically, we are still in Pretty Boy Reservoir. It is still technically the reservoir property all the way up until you cross Gunpowder Road, which is about another mile upstream from here, maybe 3/4 of a mile upstream from here. So this is all still considered part of Baltimore City's property, if you can believe that or not. So I don't know if we're technically considered in Baltimore City here or not, but it's an awful nice part of Baltimore City if it is. I enjoy it out here. So thanks for joining me. I hope you had fun on your little journey up the river with me. I know I did. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Make sure you're subscribed. See you real soon.